Many Wisconsin communities are breathing a sigh of relief and making plans for the future. The bipartisan shared revenue deal signed by Governor Evers will send much needed funding to local governments. JT Siskowski has you covered on how one local community is spending the money to better respond to emergencies.
In May, Sun Prairie's only emergency clinic announced it would close. The city needed to accelerate plans to add a fourth ambulance to ensure it always had one available for emergencies.
Now we have to move towards another hospital in Madison. The closest is the UW hospital, but that still adds additional time and travel, impact on our personnel, impact on our vehicles and our equipment.
But Fire Chief Chris Garrison says the biggest cost will be the pay and benefits for the 7 paramedics needed to staff the ambulance. And many EMS departments are short-staffed as they compete for workers willing to put up with the odd hours.
I've lost a couple just in the last month, not only to Madison, but the bigger, higher-paying fire department, but I've lost a couple just because of family issues.
The state limits how much local governments can raise in tax revenue, so funding for the new paramedics would have to come from somewhere else. Then the state legislature passed a shared revenue bill. That allowed $207 million to flow to local governments.
I can tell you that this bipartisan decision that was brought to Madison was a great decision. I mean, for us, I think that we're finally being heard.
Garrison says his department could always use more funding, but this cash is going to go a long way.
But it helps because we're hiring more firefighters, we're hiring more police officers, and we're hiring more paramedics.
In Sun Prairie, JT Siskowski, 27 News.
Communities do not have access to money from shared revenue yet. Payments go out at the end of July and in November, but many communities are making plans for how the additional money will be spent in their budgets for next year.